Hello, and welcome back to the Sugarside Podcast. I am one of your co-hosts. I'm Garrett, and today I am joined by the mesmerizing,
a new one,
the intriguing, the seductionness. I couldn't think of what's the right word there. The
seductive.
Sure. No, I was looking for what's the what are they called? Why can't I remember? You know what I'm talking about? Succubus.
Oh, there we go. Seductive is close. Okay, I can see where you're going with that. I got
Yeah,
you.
anyway, welcome back to the Sugarside Podcast. Today, we have a very fun lineup for you because
you indeed.
I have a little bit of Survivor to recap. Then Trey is going to be talking about a mystery show, and I am excited about that. I don't know what he brought to the table, but he said, I've got something to talk to you about.
I do, and I really don't know how I feel about it, and I'm excited for you to even hear the concept pitched because, yeah, I feel like I've never been more conflicted about a show in like a really long time.
See, I want to skip everything and just get to that, but then we're going to talk a little bit of the Pokemon Bug Run, and we're going to finish it up by finishing off our Studio Ghibli master review of all of the Miyazaki movies, and we're ending with The Boy and the Heron. Trey, I'm excited for today. How are you feeling?
I'm excited, man. I really am. I feel like we have a lot of good conversations to have today. I caught up on Survivor, so I can contribute to that, and that'll be fun.
If you hear any little baby coughing, that's because my baby's sitting right here, and you're just munching on those fingers so hard that sometimes it's like, wah, wah.
She's like, I can't swallow that.
Yeah, but I have another co-host here with us today, my girl Buffy. Her mom is out right now, and we already pushed the pod late, dude. It's a late recording today.
It is.
This is a after hours Sugarside Podcast special.
Shout out to After Hours.
That's for sure.
Yeah. No, it definitely is, and we talk about being tired on Wednesdays as it is. So shout out to us for making this happen. We're committed to the bit, guys. We're committed to the bit.
I mean, come on. I came prepared. I knew what I was doing getting on the pod today.
Absolutely.
Trey.
Yes, sir.
Survivor. My gosh. This episode of Survivor. First of all, I want to go back just for a second and talk about something that I'm not enjoying about this season because it's really been irking me, and I know that it's only going to get worse because like the most cringe is yet to come. This season of Survivor, season 50, In the Hands of the Fans, is a big celebration of the entire show Survivor.
Yeah.
Right? The big gimmick was it was in the hands of the fans, meaning that they got to vote for certain things to happen in the game.
Right.
And that's pretty cool. I like that part. But for some reason, they felt like season 50 with all this like stuff going on. You get to vote. It's interactive. It's all this and is bringing back all these returning players. For some reason, they felt like that wasn't catchy enough or like appealing. So they added a bunch of gimmicks that involve celebrities.
Yeah, you mentioned the Billie Eilish.
I mentioned the Billie Eilish Boomerang Idol, which, by the way, that's something that's driving me nuts. I already saw one TikTok making fun of it, but like it's true, which is that they are never just referring to it as an idol.
It's always the Billie Eilish.
It feels like product placement when they're like, here's my Billie Eilish Boomerang Idol. So when I gave her my Billie Eilish Boomerang Idol, I'm like, will you stop calling it that? Just call it a fucking idol.
And Billie Eilish is like...
It's really obnoxious.
Every time she hears it, she's like, hell yeah.
Oh my gosh, ridiculous. Yeah, every time that you say Billie Eilish Boomerang Idol, an angel gets its wings. But it's ridiculous. But I want to go back because I don't think that I touched on or even talked about how outrageous the Zach Brown segment of the show was.
You texted me about it.
I was furious. I texted you, I think, didn't I text you?
You did, that's what I said.
But I didn't talk about this? Yeah. They were like, okay, and for today's reward challenge, you'll get to go to this place and eat food, but that's not all. Who here likes country music? And they bring Zach Brown out, and he gets 4 like very long confessional sessions where it's Zach Brown, and it's like, you're not even a player. in the game. And then I have to watch him sing 2 full songs. And I was like, when the zippity dude kumbaya bullshit am I watching? Because they're all sitting there like with their food and their drinks, like, wow, he's just so amazing. And it's like, fuck you guys. If I was on that reward, I would be so obnoxious, dude. I'd be like, you think you're the first person to write about beer and pickup trucks? Fuck you. Fuck this.
I picture you like getting caught on camera leaving the reward. Like it's just you like walking away and they're like, where's Garrett going? And it's just the back of your head.
If anything, you would see me in the back making like my 4th margarita or something, just like get me fucking through this. Cause yeah, what a like glazing session that was to sit through.
And a weird one at
where
that.
It was just
no
like,
offense to Zach Brown, but
I don't like country music. I don't know who Zach Brown is. So he comes out and I'm like, great, who cares? Move on. Someone did like a head count and was like, this is episode 5, and this person has still gotten like 0 confessionals, but Zach Brown got 4.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. I mean, do they do that type of thing? Is this just a season 50?
Yeah, it's just a season 50.
Why? Just because it's been 50 seasons and they think like, see, we're popular. Like
I think that they were like, we gotta do something to bring in the country music fans.
Yeah.
And then they were like, I got it. Bring in Zach Brown. I'm a genius.
Oh,
and it's ridiculous. And I said that the cringe has only yet to come.
Yeah.
Because I know from the promotionals and stuff that Mr. Beast is going to make an appearance. And they're going to do like a Mr. Beast themed challenge because he also runs Beast Games.
I was about to say because of his own show, yeah.
That is going to make me want to tear my eyeballs out of my head, swallow them, and have it loop back in on itself. Because there's nothing I can imagine that I would like to see less.
Do you remember the SpongeBob scene where he has a popcorn bag full of his eyeballs and he's just like eating?
No, it's his hands. It's his hands.
That's right.
Yeah.
He's just
you mean like this?
Yeah.
Like this? Or like this? What about this? This is ripping off his arms. Except his didn't go back.
Yeah, right.
I could do the whole episode.
That's so funny.
No, ridiculous though, that like that is one of the gimmicks going on, and like I actually think I would rather eat my own vomit than watch Mr. Beast show up on Survivor. So I got through my little rant on that part. Now let's do the recap of the episode.
Yeah.
This episode, Trey. Honestly, I would say that there's not too much to say about this episode. Except for the ending. Wow! I know, the ending.
She's like, exactly.
You're fine. The ending where it was a double elimination.
Right. Yeah.
And so 2 people got voted out from 2 different tribes. And that's usually pretty interesting just because, like, you know, that's another body getting out.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that was voted in by the fans, was a double elimination. So that's kind of cool. I like it.
Have you been voting?
But I would say that this episode had an issue that we have talked about with season 49, which is that there was a lot of talking, and at the end of the night, both of the double eliminations were the obvious choice, I think. They're like pretty obvious, like, yep, just do it. And they just did it. And so, like, the actual vote out itself was not very interesting. All 3 of my players are still safe. Right. I've got Charlie, I've got Aubrey, and I've got Camilla. If any of those 3 make it to the end, I'm a happy boy. But for now, all 3 of them are safe.
You have Christian.
We lost
Charlie went home.
What was that?
I said you have Christian. You said you had Charlie, and Charlie went home. You have Christian.
Yeah. Christian's good. Christian's good.
Charlie went home. And
Angelina. Angelina, I think, was the obvious choice because her name was getting thrown around in the last episode. It just happened to be that someone got voted out before her, and then she was next.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like you're lined up on the chopping block. And then Charlie's had potential to go either way because the whole opening of the season, they have been building up Charlie and Rizgod as rivals, bitter rivals that hate each other and like are being nice to each other's faces, but are secretly like, I need that guy out of here. And so in this episode, they really built that up, and they were like, yeah, this back and forth, like it's a Death Note situation between L and Light. And like I know that he knows that this and that. They're building it up that way. But like it was anticlimactic because Rizgod made friends with Suri, and if you make friends with Suri, you're gonna get your way. Suri is a monster in this game. She always has been. She's never won.
She's been on like
and
4 times, right?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
She's been
She's
on a
been
lot.
on at least like 4 times,
Yeah.
and she's never won, but she's always been close. She gets voted out because everyone knows she's that good. So like she's just one of those people that like if she were to make it to the end of this like 3 of this season, I'd be like, what the fuck were you guys doing? Because like that doesn't make any sense. You have to take her out at some point because if she makes it to that final 3, she'll win. So that's just the way it is. She's like the most likable person on the island ever.
Yeah.
So Rizgod made friends with Suri, and as soon as that happened and they were like, we gotta get Charlie out, I was like, oh, GG's, Charlie, nice try. But like you can't keep Suri in the game and then also be on like the opposing side of Suri.
Yeah.
You will lose.
You'll lose. That's fair. That's fair. And Rizgod lives on and the rivalry ended.
I love that like everyone has come in and their first confessional about Rizzo is this Rizzo guy is like so annoying. I fucking hate him. Like I gotta get him out of here just so that I stay sane. And then like 3 episodes later, it's like this Rizzo guy is kind of funny. And I like Rizzo for how like manic I think that he plays the game. He's charming.
Yeah.
I see a little bit of what my own game would be like going into Survivor, like in Rizzo. Because I could see myself being like bored on the island and be like, you want to see how far I can make it down the Pokédex in order?
Yeah.
Like, and I bet they'd be like, what?
We all need comedic relief in whatever situation we're in. That is very necessary archetype, even on Survivor.
Want to see me act out the Dark Knight? I can do the whole movie. Just like do the whole thing.
One character, one actor. For all the
I got these scars.
You're like jumping back and forth, talking to yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
And you're like,
I slam my head on the table. For
I was just about to say, someone's like, "What is he doing?" And they're like, "Shut up, he's about to do the pencil scene."
Yeah,
and they're like, "I love this scene."
And I kill myself on the island. I just go, I'm gonna make this pencil disappear. And I just actually just. That's such a great. And then they're like, "Wow, you really,
whoa,
Garrett."
The funny thing is, then you don't even get to do the whole movie. It's clear that you would have.
I'm dead on the gurney, and they're like, "I think we could put him back in the game."
And then every confessional of you is just you slumped in a chair.
Weekend at Bernie's, they just got the glasses on me, and I'm just like.
You're like slowly decomposing as the season goes on, but they keep cutting to you anyway.
I make it to the final 3, and the other 2 are sitting there like this, like. And the winner of Survivor Season 50 is Garrett.
You fall out of the chair.
Confetti goes off, and I fall over.
You fall out of the chair, full rigor mortis. That's so funny.
It's the reunion episode, and I'm in an open casket. I could go on forever.
They do a full panel shot of everyone there, and it's just your casket in the middle.
Oh my god, Survivor 75, returning players, Garrett.
They zoom you for the 75th season.
Okay, I'm really sorry.
That's just really funny.
Actually killed me.
Okay, well, hopefully somebody else finds that as funny as we do.
That really took a turn because it started as just like acting out the Dark Knight, and then it turned into.
That's so good. Well, yeah, the eliminations were pretty dry this episode, I would say, and
oh yeah,
it's one of those things where I think Christian got a little bit of footing back in terms of his alliances on his team outside of Emily. I liked that he kind of pivoted to make sure that he had good standings with other people. It showed that he still wants to work with Emily, but is not putting her egg as the only one in his basket. And I think that's smart to do. So I was happy to see that.
I saw a mid-game interview with Christian because the game's over, you know, so they can do interviews at certain parts of the game on, like, the topic of, like, the most recent episodes, and so he did an interview where he, like, talked about voting out Mike White. And I don't know if we even touched on this, but Christian, Mike White, and Angelina were all on the same season together. They were on David versus
him
Goliath.
and Mike White. You didn't mention Angelina,
Oh,
but
we're
it's
on the
because we
same
were talking
season
about that.
because we
Yeah,
talked about that.
yeah.
He saw the potential of if the 3 of them made it to the merge, they would be assumed like an automatic alliance and as a threat, and so one of them would get voted out to break up that
That 3,
3,
yeah,
like, as a strategic move.
right.
And he thought out of the 3 of them, he was most likely to get voted out because he's definitely the smartest out of the 3. So, like, if you're gonna break up the 3, you wanna take out the biggest threat. So
Right.
he saw himself as the biggest threat there.
No, that's fair. Okay, so that gives a little more context as to that decision last week, outside of the
Yeah, I
Emily
still
stuff.
think it was the wrong call.
Me too.
I still think it was the wrong call. Get Emily out of there.
Yeah.
She's spoiling your stuff.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So we'll see. That it'll be interesting to see, depending on how long these tribes are together, kind of how that continues and progresses. But I was glad to see that he got his feet under him a little bit more this episode. Okay, we ready for your random show?
I'm ready. I'm so ready. You have to tell me.
So I hope it's not disappointing, but I really think it's fun in a very interesting way. So it's a dating show. I don't know if you've seen advertisements for it or trailers for it or anything. It's on Netflix. It's called Age of Attraction. Okay.
I've heard of it only through word of mouth. I
Right.
haven't seen any promotional material,
So
but I got the concept.
yeah, it's a dating show. For those who haven't heard of it, it's a dating show where the concept is men and women of all ages from like 20 to like 65 all go onto this dating show and they all date each other. But the only question you can ask is how old you are or how old is someone. And they date around. And if they like somebody and they want to continue the relationship further, they go into what's called the promise room. And then if you commit to each other in the promise room, you can ask their age and then you decide whether you want to continue dating them or not. And then if you choose that, then you have to live together for like, I think 2 or 3 weeks and you have to meet their closest friends and family. And and dude, it is like
I have another scenario going through my head.
so
How old are you? You're not allowed to ask me that.
right. No, and,
His dentures fall out.
the thing is, like, it's most of them, if not all of them, especially in like the older people on this show, look good for their age. So they clearly casted it to where it's not super obvious how old they are, but you can tell when people are like clearly older than other people they're talking to. But it's like I don't
These
know.
are my closest friends and family. Takes him to a graveyard.
To a graveyard, right? It's like, why are we buying flowers? No, I don't know.
Oh yeah, why are we buying flowers?
I don't know, like, if I'm just a hater or not, but like some of these conversations make me feel uncomfortable because
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I don't think that you're
They're
a hater. I
consenting
think
adults.
that
But I'm like, some of these, I'm like, that man's your dad's age. And I know I probably shouldn't care, but I don't necessarily want to watch it. Like there was one guy on there, spoilers in 3, 2, 1. There was one guy on there who the girl turned out to be 27 and her dad's rule for her was she wasn't allowed to marry anyone who was over 10 years older than her. And she's like very religious and their family's very religious. This man was 60 years old. And I haven't gotten to where they meet her parents yet, but I'm guessing he's probably older than her parents. And like, they're 33 years apart, dude. And I'm watching this show and I'm like, I know we're supposed to be happy for them. I don't know if I'm happy for them. It's like every episode, I don't know if I'm going to watch the next one.
Ridiculous.
I don't know if I'm going to watch the next one. Every time an episode ends, I really don't. But then somehow I still get drawn back.
Like, I was gonna say that calling it the promise room where you have to like commit to each other is already so culty.
It's weird.
But then like, but then being like, and here's your 27-year-old bride, 60-year-old man. That's also fucking weird.
It's weird, right? And even like the other way around, like one guy was, I think he's 30. No, I think he's 28. He's 28. And the woman is like 54. And she has a kid who's older than he is. And she's like, I don't care. I really like him and he's so mature for his age. And I'm like, dude, when you're 38, you're not even going to be 40. She's almost going to be 70. Like, how long do we expect these relationships to last?
I'm in a situation here. I'm in a bind.
She's like,
get out of here. Let go, you little gremlin.
I like that.
She's a grabber. If there's something in front of her, she's like, mine?
Yeah.
I can grab.
No, but yeah, so that is Age of Attraction. Like I said, I haven't watched the whole season, so I can't give a full review of it. I will definitely finish it and get back to it, but I just had to bring it up because when I texted you, I was like an episode or two in and I was like, what is this? Like, it's
actually ridiculous.
It's insane. It really is. So that is that.
You're not allowed to marry a 60-year-old. If you marry a 60-year-old, we are not talking anymore.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's a tough one. It's a tough watch morally, and I feel horrible. Like the hosts are an influencer podcast guy. I can't think of his name, but I know him, but I can't think of his name. And him and his wife are like 15 years, 16 years apart or something like that. And so they're supposed to be like the poster children for this type of relationship and wanted to bring other people together to like possibly experience the same thing.
I feel like I'm far more understanding of maybe like a 15-year gap though.
But, no, me too.
Me too. But not like 40.
Dude.
Like, bro.
More years older than you are alive is intense.
Yeah.
Like, that's intense.
That is intense. I agree. 100%. Buffy, stop trying to grab at you, psycho.
But anyway, so that is Age of Attraction, everybody. Go watch it. Let us know in the comments if you finished it, what you think, if we're ageist or not. But buddy, let's talk about the bug run. Let's pass the sugar on the bug run. How did that turn out? And are you doing anything now in the Pokemon world?
I'll keep this quick because the bug run that Tre is referring to is a run of FireRed, which got a re-release on the Switch.
Mm-hmm.
Base FireRed, where I only used the 6 bug-type Pokemon available in that generation. So that team was Beedrill, Butterfree, Pinsir, Scyther, Parasect, and Venomoth. And that's what I got to use. So, brief summary of the bug run. The hardest part of the bug run was Brock at the fucking very beginning. Because Beedrill and Butterfree suck into Brock. Again, as soon as we got our first bug, we ditched our starter. We said we're bugs. And so Caterpie, you had to grind in Viridian Forest up to like level 15, which I think also broke the
level cap,
like matching the gym leader cap rule that I usually hold myself to. But it had to happen so that Butterfree could learn Sleep Powder, because Sleep Powder actually made that fight possible. We put the Onix to sleep, and then you confusioned it, and it was dead. But, like, there were so many times where it was just like, okay, and we got Rock Tombed, which is 4 times effective into Butterfree, and we're dead. So, like, that Brock was head bashing and took a long time of grinding for the beginning of the game, you know? And then by the time the Elite Four happened, Scyther is a monster, dude. A double team and Swords Dance, you just become an unhittable monster. And I would say that the ending was anticlimactic because I set up on Gary. I was level 58. He threw out the level 63 Charizard. And because I was already set up with double teams, I was faster already anyway. And Scyther one-shot his Charizard with Aerial Ace.
Wow.
And then just swept the rest of the team. Yeah. So it was just like, I didn't need the rest of the bugs.
Yeah, you just needed...
it could have been the Scyther run.
Yeah, the Scyther run. No, and that's so funny because you were texting me at the beginning of the run and you're like, I don't know if this is going to work out. Like, you had some doubts really at the beginning.
It was really bad and annoying at the beginning, for sure. But, like, I mean, as soon as you got even Parasect made a big difference. Our Paris at the time swept Misty against the like hardcore Starmie. It was just like, okay, Bullet Seed, and it just won. So I was like, cool, I'm moving on.
Yeah.
It was way less difficult than Brock. Brock kicked my butt for quite some time, but the end of it was not so bad. And so it actually inspired me, and I am currently running attempts because at the end of it, it felt too easy. By the end of it felt too easy. It wasn't a Nuzlocke or anything. So, like, you know, at a certain point, I was just playing the game. I had a great time, though, because that was a very thorough playthrough of FireRed. hunted for the lucky egg. I got all the Pokedex entries I needed for the items. I got the experience shares. So like I got up to like 50 or 60 in my Pokedex. I hunted other items like the Twisted Spoon off of Anabra. Like I hunted for items and stuff, and so I felt like I really played all of FireRed. You
Not
know
to
what I mean?
mention you had to trade for Scyther or for Pinsir and
That was so annoying
wanted
too.
the right nature for said Pinsir for the person that you were trading to. So that game corner was your worst nightmare for a few days.
Made me go through the game corner again
Twice,
for a
3
Scyther
times.
with, huh?
3 times because you needed the right nature for you and you had to get a second one with the same
Yeah.
nature. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
so I mean, so that's
You did
twice.
twice. Yeah.
I did it twice. But yeah, no, how many coins did I have to earn by the end of it? It was like 11,000
That's
coins
crazy.
that I had to earn in the game corner. So I played FireRed.
Yeah.
But yeah, it ended up feeling too easy by the end of it. So instead, now I am running attempts on a hardcore Nuzlocke of Pokemon Imperial Emerald Imperium. And Emerald Imperium is one of the hardest ROM hacks that I've ever played in my life. The furthest that I've made it so far has been the Trick Room before fighting Norman, the 5th gym, your dad. And in this mod, you have to beat the entire Trick Room before you fight Norman. In original Emerald, you don't have to do that. And that's 9 fights, and they started throwing out Ultra Beasts, and I was like, okay, that's fun.
Yeah.
And I got wiped, so that hurt. That sucked. That was like, oh, okay. I'm sorry, I didn't bring my legendaries. I don't have any.
Right. And not to mention that in this ROM hack, there's Pokemon in there that don't exist or forms that don't exist. Anyway, I mean, they just start throwing like random stuff at you that you can't even be prepared for until you see it.
No, Mega Luxray, the Norman gym, I'm very nervous for. I still haven't made it there, but I already know what's there, and it's a Mega Slacking. And I'm like, okay, cool. And it loses Truant when it goes Mega. So that just means it becomes a monster.
Yeah. No, that's sick.
And I'm like, what am I supposed to do?
That's absolutely sick.
It's very, very hard. But having a blast with that. I'm doing that over on twitch.tv/Shubi, SH00BI. Check it out. And we're releasing episodes on the YouTube as well, so you could actually just watch like the little shortened versions of the VODs.
I will say that Garrett's Twitch streams are very fun. He's very fun to watch play games. So don't sleep on this one. It's going to be a good time. And I'm excited to see how it goes. Okay.
You're so cute.
We passed and Sugar. She is very
so cute. Little podcaster. Say something into the mic or grab it. Just grab it. I know you want to.
She thought so hard about it. She was like, whoa.
I know. Once it was right up in her face, she didn't want to do it. She's got to be like away. And there. Now we're back to the investigation and the grabbing.
There we go. All right, my friend. Let us pass the sugar onto the finale of our Studio Ghibli series. I cannot believe that, Oscars included, we've watched 11 movies. That's 3 months of time. That's crazy how quickly that went by.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah. And we've kept up with it every week. And I feel like our reviews have been really good. And I'm excited for this last one, especially with how recent it was released. And as supposedly Miyazaki's very last movie he'll ever make, we are reviewing Boy and the Heron today, from 2023. So just a few years ago, which is also crazy to think about, that we started with a movie from 1985 and we're ending with a movie in 2023. That's a crazy span of time.
That is pretty wild, isn't it? We've gotten to see like the art transform over time.
You know, we'll get into the details of this movie because I think there's a lot of beautiful details in it. But like 20 minutes into this film, I was like, if this was an anime series, it would probably be like the top anime series in the world. And yet no one talks about this movie. Like the animation is so good, as it is in all of them. But to your point, they really updated things to fit that like new age anime style. And it still looks really good, even though you can tell it's newer.
There were some like choices that were so cool. The dream sequences where it's all kind of like swishy.
Yeah.
And like the people's faces are like half drawn because like in a dream, do you really remember everyone's faces and stuff like that? It's so like experimental for him.
Yeah.
You know, like he's never done anything like that and like or anything that even like emulates it, and it looks so new for him.
Totally. Yeah. And I think, he's never shied away from changing the entire style of a film to fit the theme and the story itself. And this is no exception. I felt like, to your point, especially for it being his last run, he really put himself out there for this one. And to be going as long as he has been and still have new ideas that are so fresh and unique, like, you got to tip your hat to him. I mean, he's never missed in 11 movies.
I'm always skeptical when he says it's his last movie, because I remember when he said Ponyo was going to be his last movie. Could you imagine his last movie happening in 2009?
Yeah, that's kind of crazy. And the movies that we would miss out on. The Wind Rises not existing is just not possible. It's just not possible. It has to be made. And I hope he feels that way about another film sometime soon.
You're so funny.
She has a lot to add to this conversation.
Yeah, she does. She's a talker.
So where are we starting with The Boy and the Heron? Because there's a lot to unpack. And I remember you said on first watch, this was one of those that you walked out. And I remember when you saw it in theaters, you texted me afterwards. And I remember you said, like, I don't know what to think about that movie. And you said it last week that this is one of those that you kind of had to watch more than once. And I totally understand why you would feel that way.
Yeah, that's exactly where I was going to start. Was when I walked out of the theater, I like instantly knew that it was going to be one of those ones that I was going to like more the more that I saw it.
Mm-hmm.
On the first watch, I don't know if it's just like that I get overstimulated or something, but like I feel like when the visuals are so impressive that it makes me like disregard the story a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
And so like I remember thinking that it was beautiful.
Yeah.
But that I didn't know if I like liked it or understood or like the story enough to be like I loved it.
Mm-hmm.
But now I have seen that movie like in the double digits, because I'll just put it on in the background sometimes,
Yeah.
And I was totally right. This is one of those movies that I have been enjoying more and more every time that I watch it. I watched it in preparation for this earlier this week, and then I watched it again today.
Awesome. No, and I can only imagine what that experience is like on a movie screen visually too, because like this is also his closest film visually to me to Spirited Away compared to all of the others.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of zany stuff going on in this movie that you can definitely get lost in just watching it happen and not pay attention to what's going on whatsoever and still be like locked in the entire time,
Do you love Weasel? Weasel's my favorite Pokemon. You can hug him. No, that was actually a thought that I had today that was different than the last time I watched it, was that, like, as far as, like, the fantastical element of getting whisked away to another world, this is the most comparable one to Spirited Away, right?
Totally.
So, like, we both came to that, and I like that. But something that I like about this movie every time that I watch it is, like, the little Easter eggs that are throughout it that are references to his previous movies, because I feel like this movie is a giant montage of the last 10 movies that we watched.
Yeah.
Because it is a story about the uncle, the great uncle, is him. He made this world, and so it's him. I made all this stuff, and it's a story of, I think, in my interpretation, a message to his son saying, you don't have to be me.
Yeah.
Because at the end, and it should be your decision.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the movie, Mahito turns him down from taking on his role.
Totally.
He's like, I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah.
And you know what? I'm going to leave the mic so everyone can see your cute face. And I think that that's beautiful, which is funny to say, because like when you say like it's a message to his son, like about not doing that, whatever, you have to remember that Miyazaki is an old man now. So like his son is not some like 20-year-old hopeful kid.
Yeah.
It's like, this is like a 55-year-old, 60-year-old man that he's telling him like, stop.
No, totally. And I think, I went into it thinking of it that way because I knew you interpreted it that way, and I wanted to see kind of where you were going with that. And I totally see the same thing. I think, especially watching all the movies as recently as I have, it gave you the feels of so many of those movies all kind of wrapped into one. And even how he describes that world as the great uncle, of like, it might not last a day unless I keep this balance, unless I keep working on it. And he pitches it first as so much pressure to keep this world alive. But then when Mahito starts doubting and thinking, maybe I don't want this, he goes, you want to go back to that horrible, stressful world? Like, it's still like, it's tranquil. It's an island. It's a world apart that you can escape to and live in, and it's peaceful and it's amazing. But it's hard to do. And it's like, I love the juxtaposition of like, this life is amazing because being able to create this world is amazing. But like, I've had to be on my A game for 30 years, and I don't know if you want to work that hard. And I don't know if you should have
Yeah.
to, you know?
Right.
And it truly felt like, and I could see why he would say it was his last one, because it truly felt like a full circle moment of like, he recognizes how amazing what he's built is, but he also recognizes how easily he could have fucked it up and how hard that would be for someone else to try to emulate and continue. I also have to say that I can't say that it's my favorite score of the series, but it's up there. It's really good. It's a really fun score to
I
follow.
was thinking about that this time too, because I've been like shouting out my favorite ones. And there's a cool, like, mystical, magical element to this score. But you're right, like, if I wanted to hum it, I can't.
No,
But I could for Spirited Away.
Totally.
You know?
It feels like some of the piano parts almost sound freestyled. Like, it sounds like someone trying to build an ambiance more than like a replayable song or songs the way that the other movies are. And to your point, I think that gives that mystical kind of adventure, fantastical feel, because you don't really know where it's going to go, but it sets the tone for like where the movie is.
You just want to be held.
She don't know what she want. She want that, and that's okay.
That's okay. Yeah, but I really like these strong moments where it'll be that like quiet like moment, but when something significant happens, like when he first finds the tower, that's when those like two strong notes always come in. And it's like dun 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 dun. Like I like that part. Like
it really felt like you were in it. And my favorite scores in this film like really gave you that feel of like you're there and you get to experience the story too. And I feel like I love when soundtracks do that anyway, and when scores do that anyway. But I feel like there's been a few Miyazaki movies that really do that super, super well, and this was one of them.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was good. It was a great ending to the series. If this is his last one, I completely understand why. And I could understand how it would be hard to make something else after that. Because, like, what comes after that thematically?
No, this actually feels like a conclusion because of that, like, montage of his other movies.
Totally.
The parakeets look like Totoro.
Yeah.
The Warawara look like the forest spirits in
Princess Mononoke. Yeah.
Like, it's like a little just walk through like references to his previous work, and so by the end of it and the whole world comes down.
Yeah, you get the sea scenes from Ponyo that have like a Ponyo feel to them. Like there's a lot of little things you can hold on to.
The boats out at the ocean that are all phantoms are like straight out of that's Porco Rosso with the planes in the sky. So like they're little Easter eggs throughout the entire movie that you'll pick up more of them every time that you watch it.
That's cool. Yeah.
And I really like the story now. Like I do connect with Mahito, and like the whole arc of starting the movie with him bashing his head in with the rock, and at the end of it he's like, this scar is a sign of my malice. Like if I were to do this and take over from you, it would end the same way. It's the same like Dark Souls storyline of like relighting the fire at the end of the game. And so like that's why it's kind of come to, the more I understand it or connect with it, the more and connect it to the things that I already like. I'm really feeling this movie a lot more every time I see it.
Totally. Yeah. And I think, even the great uncle said it in the movie, right? Like how insightful that is to recognize the malice in something and even the malice in yourself. And we've talked about how earlier in this series, it felt like Miyazaki had conversations with himself through his movies to get through the struggles of doing what he does, and really fought through the highs and lows of that. And so for someone outside of that could possibly take that on, to recognize that in themselves before they do it, I think is also really cool, because it kind of draws back to that too, of like, Miyazaki's like, yeah, I could see that because I went through that and I had to overcome that and it wasn't easy. And so I can understand why you wouldn't want to take that on in the first place. It's not for the faint of heart and it's not for everybody, and that's okay. This will always be here. And it's great, but
Yeah.
it can have an ending if it's meant to.
Are you ready for my final ranking?
I am, and then
Do you
we
think
get
I
to get
can
to
do?
mine, which I've been so
Yeah, we
excited
finally get
about.
to get to yours.
I'm excited. Are we going 11-1 or 1-11? I think I'm gonna go
Yeah, that's gonna
11-1.
be
I
harder
know.
for me to like remember the order up.
No, you're good. I know yours is different because we've kind of gone over yours. I'm gonna do 11-1 because mine is completely secret.
Okay, 11-1. Well, we know that Totoro is in my 11 spot. That's nothing against Totoro. It's like the little kid one. It's like fine.
Mhm.
But as far as the vibe movies of Miyazaki goes, that's not the one that I'm like, I should put on Totoro. There's
Yeah,
other ones
yeah.
that I'll put on. Remember that all these movies are great, and just some of them have to be at the bottom. So shut
Right. What spot is still open for you?
up. Huh?
What spot is still open for you? Is it 4?
Is it? I have my top 5 filled out.
Oh, okay, gotcha. I don't remember which
So
spot was still open, depending
yeah,
on
we'll
where
get
things
there
shift,
when
but
we
we'll get there.
get up.
Yeah.
I feel like my gap was like the 10 spot, which means that I think I would have to move Nausicaa down for this to fit
Mm,
and put Nausicaa at 10, which is kind of nuts.
yeah,
I hate that actually because I like Nausicaa so much.
yeah.
10. Shit, dude. I should see if I could find that little notebook.
Yeah, dude. Because this is gonna be really hard to do, and I wish I would have kept.
But I also didn't write all of them down.
Yeah, yeah.
Start it over because it'll just be easier if I go 1 to 11.
That's fine.
So go back to say when you say that you're gonna do yours 11-1.
Okay, so why don't you do your list 1-11 since we know most of your list already? I think there was just one spot open, but I'm gonna do mine 11-1 since mine are all written down and they're a secret. So I have a little reveal at the top.
Okay, perfect. I like that. But yeah, everyone already knows my top 5, so like it's fine to go down this way.
Mhm.
Number 1, Princess Mononoke.
Mhm.
This was my like objective take for the series this time. Why are you so happy?
She's like, I love Princess Mononoke.
Princess Mononoke, number 1. That was my objective take. I think that, like, is it my favorite of his movies? No. But is it the best one that he's ever made? Yes. So I'm going to give it the respect it deserves and put it at number 1. Number 2 was my subjective best one, and that is The Wind Rises. The Wind Rises, I think, is a beautiful movie with my favorite score in all of these. Who doesn't love a good love story? And the story of, like, creating art but through a vessel that like is forced upon you, I think is very compelling.
Yeah.
Interesting. And fits with Miyazaki very well too. So I like that movie. Number 3, this was my no budge spot. I said this movie is gonna stay here and nothing will cause it to move. And that was Porco Rosso. Porco Rosso at number 3. I just have loved this movie more and more every time that I watch it. I think it's so fun. Indiana Jones, but with a pig. Let's see. Number 4 was Spirited Away. I understand that it's low by certain standards. Some people will automatically put this at number 1, and those people, I think, are not thinking hard enough.
Yeah.
That movie is great, but out of Miyazaki, and like, yeah, one of the best movies ever made. But I'm talking Miyazaki, baby. So
I went on a rant about Spirited Away to Hannah the other day. And I was like, it's the same conversation we'd had before about how many other Miyazaki movies are just as good and nobody talks about them. But I'm like, for anyone who puts Spirited Away as high as they do, what's the theme? Tell me the theme. I want a concise, well thought out theme of Spirited Away, and I'll wait for it in the comments because
I'll tell you off screen though. Let's let comments roll in with their opinions.
Yeah, I want to hear it genuinely because I feel like even in our conversation we like didn't underscore that super clearly compared to the others. So
okay.
I'm excited to hear about it. Anyway,
number 5. What did I put in my number 5? It made it Howl's Moving Castle. Howl's Moving Castle at number 5. It knocked Castle in the Sky out, which I think is kind of crazy. Saying this out loud, I'm like even more inclined to switch Howl's Moving Castle and Spirited Away and put Spirited Away at number 5, which I think I'm gonna do. I'm doing it live. I'm doing it live.
Doing it live,
folks.
a live edit. Okay. All right.
Howl's Moving Castle. You know what, Trey? I watched Howl's Moving Castle again today.
Hell yeah,
and that movie is really, really great.
It's really good. It's really, really good.
Yeah, doing it live. Number 6. Number 6 is where I'm going to put The Boy and the Heron.
Okay.
I just, again, and I think it continues to have potential to move itself up even more, which is crazy to say because I just listed off bangers.
Yeah. So, and I know bangers. I know bangers.
I just feel like it's riding that Porco Rosso hype train as well,
I get
that
it, man.
every time I watch it, I like it more.
I get it. I totally get it.
I think it has potential to be argued to be his most beautifully animated movie. Like, the art is actually fucking
It
crazy in
is.
that movie.
It's
It's amazing.
insane. It's insane. And I
Yeah.
don't know if it was hand drawn 100% the way his other movies are because it's so recent, but you can't deny it. It's so good. It looks so, so good. Anyway, keep going.
Number 7, Castle in the Sky.
Mm-hmm.
Remember when Castle in the Sky was at number 5?
Yeah, dude.
I wanted to keep it in the top 5 so bad, dude, because after this rewatch, I remembered how much I love that movie. It is actually so good.
Yeah.
And fantastical in such a different way than the other ones.
Totally.
It's like, it's almost like realistic.
Yeah. 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 Fantastical, but
love it.
like in a real world type of way. I totally understand what you mean.
I love that Colonel Muska is like by far the most evil, one-dimensionally evil characters, like villains that he's ever made.
Yeah.
Like we talked about how a lot of these people are like gray people that like aren't necessarily evil beyond belief.
He's not.
But like Muska is like, I'm gonna destroy the world, and I love a hammy villain like that.
Mhm.
And the pirates, the bait and switch, where you think they're gonna be the bad guys, but they end up being like the comedic relief good guys.
So much to chew
is
on.
amazing.
Yeah, so good.
Number 8, Kiki's Delivery Service. Man, I love Kiki's. It's just Kiki's makes me sad.
Yeah.
And so many of these other ones, like, give me hope or, like, make me happy or are just, like, fun.
Mhm.
And Kiki's has those elements, but because the ending is super hopeful, and I love the ending. But, like, watching her go through just how difficult that is, it's, like, too real.
I couldn't agree more.
Yeah, it's like, it hits a little too close to home for me to be like, I'm gonna put this one on all the time, and
Yeah.
I love it. And it's like
If I put that one on all the time, you need to call somebody.
you
Be
need
worried
to
about
call
me.
someone, yeah. I agree, yeah, good point.
Number 9?
Let's see, what does that leave? What did I leave off?
Number 9 would
Because am I
be
skipping one?
Ponyo.
I'm thinking Nausicaa and Totoro at the end, so
Ponyo is number 9.
shit. No! No! That's just objectively not true.
That's so funny, dude. That's so good.
Okay, I'm doing it live, folks. I'm doing it live. This sucks. Boy and the Heron, number 6. Ponyo, number 7. Then Castle in the Sky. Then Kiki's.
Wow.
Then Nausicaa. Then Totoro.
Okay. All right.
Ponyo is the good time one.
Mm.
If I want to feel happy,
Yeah,
like immediately without having to like wait for build up or character development, I'm like, I just want to watch good people do good things.
yeah.
Ponyo.
Ponyo. No, 100%. I totally understand that. Okay.
Now, Ponyo is on in my house all the time, and also is in the argument for the best animated one. Like, it is actually so spectacularly beautiful. The ocean, the underneath in the ocean, that scene with the tidal wave and all of the boats are at the top, I think is like the best desktop wallpaper you could ever ask for.
Dude, it's so crazy because I've seen multiple videos on Twitter and posts on Twitter because obviously my phone's listening to me and knows I've been watching Studio Ghibli movies. And it talks about like 4-second clips of some of these movies and how long it took to animate those. I can only imagine how long it took to animate Ponyo. Because like it showed, the one I saw recently was one of the scenes from what's it called? Oh my goodness. The Wind Rises. Jeez. Nighttime show. It was a 4-second scene of the crowd in The Wind Rises after the fire when they're literally just crawling all over each other. And it said that 4-second clip took over a year to animate, like a year and 3 months. So I can only imagine a movie like Ponyo, how much of a beast that was to make it look the way that it did with all of that water.
Yeah,
That's so
no
crazy.
kidding.
That's so crazy.
Well, that's my list. So I'll just prattle it off one more time.
Yep.
All the stuff. Princess Mononoke, Wind Rises, Porco Rosso, Howl's the Moving Castle, Spirited Away, Boy and the Heron, Ponyo, Castle in the Sky, Kiki's, Nausicaa, Totoro.
Yeah. Good list, man. And I love all the reasonings behind it. I feel like you can stand on 2 feet on those. And, I'm going to go through my list in a second, but everyone in the comments, put your list down. Let's discuss, because I feel like there's so many, and we've talked about this before, like depending on where you're at in life, depending on how you grew up, where you grew up, different nostalgia biases, even if you rewatched them with us recently, there's a lot of different ways you can arrange this list, and I don't think you're necessarily wrong. I think there's a lot of really compelling arguments for all of these movies of why it would be your favorite one or your top 5 or whatever. And so I want to hear from you guys. Let's hear in the comments what your list looks like and let's talk about it. But now it is time for my list. And I'm so excited because you don't even know my list, which is so much fun. I'm so proud of myself for keeping it a secret because for those who don't know me, I can't keep secrets. I'm terrible at them.
Yeah.
Every time I buy my wife something, I tell her immediately. I can't keep a secret to save my life. I can't believe my proposal was a secret, to be honest. That was like the greatest mission ever. But anyway, I'm going to go from 11 to 1. And I think there's going to be some surprises. I'm excited for you to hear this list. So starting at number 11, and some will be similar, and I'll keep some of my reasoning short because you hit some nails on the head for sure. Number 11, I have Totoro also. Didn't have as much plot. I could see it as a fun kids movie, mascot of the company. I get it, but just not my favorite. And I feel like there's just a lot of other heavy hitters on this one. Number 10, I also have Nausicaa, which feels like a crime, but I feel like, and I'm going to say this a couple times throughout this list, I feel like we've said it multiple times that Miyazaki comes back to the same theme and he always does it better the second time he does it. And I just feel like that just happened to be not his case, unfortunately.
No, yeah, Nausicaa has the disadvantage of just being his first one
Totally.
because it's like, dude, you just like only get better.
Yeah, absolutely. So Nausicaa number 10. Number 9, for kind of all the same reasons that you said, this is where I put Kiki's Delivery Service because it makes me sad.
You also put Kiki's there?
I put it at 9. You put it at 8. We have a couple switcheroos. They're really close, but we have a couple switcheroos. Kiki's is at 9 because it makes me sad. And as much as I love it and it makes me remember that work sucks sometimes, I already feel that way. So I don't need to watch a movie to make me feel that way.
Right.
But it's great on its own. Number 8 is where I put Ponyo because Ponyo is amazing. I know.
It's just one lower than where I have it.
It is. And a lot of those are, and we have a couple switcheroos, like I said, because number 7 is where I put Castle in the Sky, because Castle in the Sky to me was really the first Miyazaki movie that I was like, holy shit. Like it was the first one that really like edge of my seat, jaw on the floor. Like I want that landscape to be a painting in my house. Like the light bulb clicked on this series when we got to Castle in the Sky. The whole movie was just like stem to stern. So good. And it pains me that it's this low because I love that movie so much. But like you said, it just keeps getting better. And so unfortunately, it's just kind of where it landed. But I love that movie. This is where I get a little controversial for everybody. Okay. So buckle up your seatbelts. Number 6 is Spirited Away. It did not make my top 5. I know. Take the glasses off. It did not make my top 5.
That's disrespectful. Because I know that it's only in the number 5, but like I would have a very hard time ever not putting Spirited Away in the top 5.
Listen,
you're crazy.
I don't think it is, and we'll get there. I think it is amazing. I think it's animated amazing. I think out of all the movies that came before it, it was the first like he's in his bag and he's throwing the kitchen sink at it, and I get it. I just feel like it's overhyped as the only one, and it's not the only one on this list that is that caliber. And I personally liked the other 5 better. And so I'm standing my ground on this one. It's close. And I feel like if I rewatch them all, it might shift around a little bit, but I don't see a world where it would ever be my number 1. And I don't see a world where I could put it in the top 10 best movies of the 2000s and not at least include one of these other movies on this list.
Sure.
And so for that reason, it is number 6, Cry Me River, Let's Fight About It. Number 5 is The Boy and the Heron on first watch.
Okay.
I really enjoyed it. And I feel like it was his kind of revisiting of the same type of animation and feel to Spirited Away. And maybe that's the Spirited Away Easter egg of it all, is like his last one also kind of has that feel to it. But I just feel like looking at it from the perspective of a possible message to his son and kind of tying a bow on the whole Studio Ghibli idea and franchise and group of movies, I gave me all the feels, especially watching all of these movies in succession as we have to have this be the ending one. I felt like it immediately was like really enjoyed it. And I feel like I have to put some respect on it. And again, I'm going to watch all these movies again. This list might shift, but as of today, The Boy and the Heron is my top 5. It's a great way to end this series. And it was just it was really cool to watch Miyato as a character kind of grow through that and battle with where he started to where he ended, to not end up wanting to take the towel from his uncle when it called him the same way that it called his great uncle. You know,
Mhm.
it's like he couldn't stay away from it at first, and then eventually he didn't want it. And I loved it a lot, for all the reasons we said. So that's number 5. This is where the list kind of gets boring because you and I are best friends and we think a little bit too alike. But 4 is where I put House. I loved House. It is my favorite score of the series. I think it's beautiful. I think it's an amazing story. It's a great love story. All the different things we said about it. It's so good. And it's the vibe movie. It is the vibe movie. I will put that movie on in the background forever. Really, really loved it. Our top 3 are the same in the same order.
Yeah.
Yes, I have Porco Rosso at 3, The Wind Rises at 2, and Princess Mononoke at 1. But I think Princess Mononoke to me was my personal favorite.
Okay.
I could see the argument that The Wind Rises is his best one. They're different. They're different. But The Wind Rises is my favorite love story of the series. And it is, to me, the most artful feel type. Like that movie is a work of art. It really, really is, just like we said last week. And it is the movie that I liked so much I watched it twice in the same day. So
That is impressive.
but I really loved Princess Mononoke. I felt like Princess Mononoke was everything I loved as a child growing up into one movie and done so wonderfully well that I felt like I'd be lying to myself if I didn't put it at number 1. It's my favorite one for sure. So to recap,
Beautiful.
because I know we're wrapping up, I have Princess Mononoke at number 1, Wind Rises at number 2, Porco Rosso at number 3, Howl's Moving Castle at 4, The Boy and the Heron at 5, Spirited Away at 6, Castle in the Sky at 7, Ponyo at 8, Kiki's at 9, Nausicaa at 10, and Totoro at 11. Fight me. I'm happy with that.
Disrespectful.
I'm happy with that. That's fine. It's one placement. It's one placement, and I feel like the arguments are there to shift it all kinds of ways, but that's how it's sitting today.
Like I said, I think that Boy and the Heron has potential to continue climbing, which means that Spirited Away only has potential to keep moving down. And so that is a bummer. But like I said, I would be uncomfortable not putting it in my top 5.
I also feel like Spirited Away just came in with so much hype that like it's not that it lived up to it, but I feel like it made the other movies hit harder because I didn't expect it from them the way that I expected it from Spirited Away.
Yeah, I like that.
The underdog story. Well,
that concludes our Studio Ghibli series. That 11 movies is impressive. Buddy.
It is for sure.
You know what? Gosh, what would that get us to? It's not quite 11, but how do you feel about watching 9 movies?
I could do 9. I mean, you could do 9. We did what, 7 for Star Wars?
What do you think we should watch?
I mean, I'd love to play the music, but I think we'd get copyrighted. But, you know, I grew up a martial artist myself, and you gotta love a good boxing movie.
A good boxing movie?
I think everybody roots for a boxing movie, and I think there's one series that is the face of boxing like not many other series could be. And so for that reason, I think it's only right that we do the Rocky series next. And Buffy likes it.
We're gonna watch some Rocky.
We'll watch some Rocky. Let's go to Philadelphia.
Oh my gosh. It has been a while since I've watched all of the Rockies.
Me too.
And I think I've only watched Rocky 5 maybe twice because
it hasn't been that many times.
We'll get there when we get there.
And you said 9 movies.
I'm looking forward to this.
Because we're including the Creeds. I think that's a decision
we're going to include the Creeds. Good old Creed. I don't want to give too much away because I could definitely just jump right in and start talking about all these movies now. Trey, I'm excited to be watching these with you. I feel like we grew up with Rocky. Like, I remember watching the Rocky movies with you.
Yeah.
So this is going to be a little trip down memory lane for us.
Totally. And it'll be interesting to see how nostalgia bias versus recency bias changes our opinion slightly on these movies. There are some that I've definitely watched more recently and more often than others. And so it'll be fun to rewatch those now and to watch the ones that I haven't seen in a long time. And with a fresh pair of eyes, I feel like it'll be a good time. So stay tuned for that series. We'll be doing those once a week. I hope you guys enjoyed the Studio Ghibli series as much as I did, and I know Garrett did as well. And I think if you're cool with it, buddy, I'm going to take us out. But if you...
Do you feel like a more complete person after seeing all of them?
I do. I feel like I have a lot to talk about, and I can get into a lot of conversations that I couldn't before. Do you recommend the other Studio Ghibli movies that aren't Miyazaki movies? Because there are a few that on that streaming service that we didn't watch, but I also haven't seen.
I would say not so much. I know some of them have like a pretty good reputation, but like, to be fair, if I've ever seen them, it's probably only been once or twice. not the way that, like, these Miyazaki movies have captured me for my entire life, you
Right,
know?
right, right,
Like,
right. Yeah, just a different thing.
big difference. So that's why we kept it to the list that we had,
Yeah, yeah, and I
because
think that's
these are the
fair.
bangers.
Yeah, banger after banger, all so good. And, for all the arguments we made of where we put these movies, I genuinely liked all of them. And I think that's
Yeah,
really hard to do in 11 movies. So shout out to
right.
Miyazaki. Those movies are crazy. But ladies and gentlemen, we have reached the end of another episode of the Sugar Side podcast. If you are keeping up with Survivor, let us know in the comments who your pick for the winner is and what you think of the season as a whole. Obviously, they're doing a lot with season 50 that they haven't done in Survivor before. And, differing opinions can come whether that's positive or negative. And I kind of want to
Yeah.
see what you guys think about some of the changes and gimmicks that they're throwing out this season for the 50th season. If you've seen Age of Attraction, let me know what you think. And if Garrett and I are just hating on this show, I think it's a little weird, personally.
You're ready for
But I'm
bedtime.
definitely going to watch it the rest of the way through, and I'll come back to that. So look forward to that. Watch After Hours, Garrett's Twitch stream. We'll let you guys know when he's going to do that, and you'll see some videos on YouTube of that. But Pokemon Emerald Imperium, it's going to be a really hardcore Nuzlocke to do, and I'm excited to see how that goes. So stay tuned for that.
It's gonna take me like a year.
Yeah, so stay tuned for the next year because we got some content to make. And last but not least, look forward to next week when we start with none other than Rocky on where it all started in a little gym in Philadelphia. It's going to be a great time. I'm going to let Garrett get Buffy to bed because clearly dad mode has come upon us. I've been Trey.
He's ready for bed.
That's Garrett. This has been the Sugar Side Podcast, and we will catch you guys on the next one.
Bye, Buffy.